Hey guys, Eric Su here. Hope you're doing well. Hey, I'm super excited today to talk about my new training guide called Softball Breakaway Speed, the secret test and fundamentals that will unlock your potential. So stay tuned. Alright you guys, if you're new to this channel, welcome. I know you guys will get a lot out of this, so remember to destroy the like button, subscribe button, and notification button so you can get future videos just like this. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I know you guys will get a lot out of this as well. Alright, so let's dive into today's episode, and today I want to talk about my new training guide. And this is for girl softball players who are fast but want to be faster without guessing what to do about it. Now, I'm going to cover how to use this guide, what to measure, and how to assess progress. Alright, so this video is going to be about my new training guide called Softball Breakaway Speed, the secret test and fundamentals that will unlock your potential. Now, if you don't have your copy, you can go ahead and get your free copy. Just follow the link in the description and you'll be taken to a page where you can fill out your information and get your free copy. Okay? And if you have your own copy, go ahead and bring it out. All right, now that you have your copy, let's go ahead and dive into this guide. So here is the cover page, and you got your table of contents. We're going to be talking about the squat test, the stretches, the exercises, the workout routine, and something called base movement assessment, and then we'll go over some next steps. Here's a little bit more information about myself. Okay, and here is the squat test. Okay. So everything hinges on this squat test. And I'm going to go over the squat test first and tell you a little bit more about why it's really significant. So here's the squat test, and here is a picture of what you need to do. We'll start off first with this position here. This is the standing position. You can read all this, but basically you will be standing with your hands above your head, feet shoulder width apart, and then what you want to do is go into this squat. Now, I want you to notice a few things here. First of all, his hands are behind his knees. His butt is past 90 degrees. His heels are down, and his toes are pointing forward. Okay? Those are all good positions to be in this squat test to get a score of a 3. Okay? And I'll just go over those scoring test requirements real quick here. And you'll see that to get a 3, which is the top score, you'll have to do a squat below 90 degrees with the heels down. And then your toes face straight ahead and your hands do not travel forward past the knees, just like in the picture. And if you do the move, squat below 90 degrees with the heels down, but the toes face outwards, sometimes the toes point outwards, well then, and your hands travel forward past your knees, you will score a 2. And then if you do it where you're unable to squat below 90 degrees, your heels come up, or you lose your balance, okay, well, on the way down or on the way up, you'll score a 1. Okay, so be sure that you are properly scoring yourself when you do this test. Okay, all right. So what does it all mean? Okay. Now, there's a few things that we need to be able to do if we want to be able to perform at our peak, okay? And number one is we want to be able to flex the ankles. We want to be able to bend the knees. We want to be able to flex at the hips, okay? And we also need to have good upper body strength, okay? And mobility to go along with the movement of running, okay? Now, I'm sure many of you guys are good runners. I'm sure you guys have been doing it for some time. And there are things that we can always improve on, especially flexibility is what I'm thinking. Because if we look at the ankle for a second here, if we're unable to properly move that joint, right, you're going to be losing the capability to move your body in a way so that you can have breakaway speed. That's really the bottom line, okay? So that is just one of the significance behind this squat test, is that it tests your ankle mobility, okay? Now you can read a little bit more about what this all means in the test, but in summary, we want to be able to function properly throughout the whole move, the squat test that is, so that we can find our limits. Now, many of us, we've never tested ourselves this way, I think, and so it's important to be able to identify our weaknesses and our strengths. And so this is one of many tests that I perform in a base assessment, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, but this is just one of them. Okay, so let's just talk about what happens if you did not score a 3, but you scored a 2, and maybe you scored a 1. Okay, remember, a 2 was where you squat past 90 degrees, right? But your toes turned out, or your hands passed in front of your knees. Okay, so if any of those happen, you get a 2, and so you have some mobility issues in terms of getting down to the low position. Your toes turned down a little bit. Okay, and then your hands went forward past your knees. Okay, so if that happened, then basically you have some limits, and so we can talk about what we can do to improve them. Okay, and I like to talk about what we can do to improve our mobility through the first part, which is stretches. I list out in this guide all the stretches I would think that would help you and how to do them. Okay, so go ahead and look through these stretches. There's pictures and there is word descriptions. Okay, and when you go through that and stretch out, I would say that you would start the process of getting your body to peak movement ability. Okay, so stretching those muscles. We don't want to be tense and tight as we play, and so that's the first part. And then the second part really is we should be able to strengthen our body, our muscles, to move our body. Okay, and so these are the 8 exercises. Okay, as you can see here, 8 exercises, starting at the calves, moving on to the hamstrings, quads, glute, butt muscles, inner thigh muscles for sure, your back, shoulders, and chest. Okay, all of those are really important areas to increase the strength. And so how do you do them? Well, we've got a list of exercises that you can do with videos right here, and that will help you out in strengthening those areas. Okay, pretty much self-explanatory, I would say. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. And then this next part really is about, let's put all those exercises and stretches into a workout routine and into your schedule. Okay, as we all know that, and one of my philosophies is that we get in shape to play the sport versus play the sport to get in shape. And so if you really believe in that, then we should be taking time to strengthen our muscles, stretch out as well, and to be ready to play the sport. Okay, so here's the routine that I put together for you guys. You can follow it. Okay, remembering what to strengthen. Okay, so all the exercises that we need to strengthen are here. Okay, and then what we wanted to be able to do is put it into a workout routine. The first one I listed for you guys, this is a very simple and easy one to remember. It's a circuit routine. Okay, and basically what this means is that you'll be going through one exercise to the next with small breaks in between. Okay, and so this is the list that I think would be a good list to run through from start to finish. So I would start here and finish all the way through here with small breaks in between each of these exercises. Okay, that's routine 1. In routine 2, I would go ahead and talk about a sequence called interval routines. And this interval routine is basically a strength cardio sequence. Okay, and so you'll notice here that it starts off with a strength and then follows by a cardio. A strength and a cardio. What's great about this is that you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone in one moment, which is you're going to be strengthening your muscles while increasing your cardiovascular heart rate at the same time, burning extra calories. But basically, when you do this type of routine, you're being efficient and you're actually working your whole body at the same time. So really love this routine here. As you can see, it goes back and forth, strength and cardio. All these exercises I think you are familiar with. I love this workout, and it will really help people improve their body, okay, to strengthen it, okay? All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about our workout schedules, okay? I realize, and not many people have very similar schedules, or they're very busy, and I get that. I'm going to go ahead and say that if we can schedule something, it's better than nothing. And here are some examples of potential workout schedules that you could put down together that are going to help you and keep you on track. Okay, so as you can see, workout schedule number 1, if you have games on the weekends, you got a 4-day workout here. And on schedule number 2, you have 1, 2, 3 in the middle here. You got time off on the Monday and Friday with the weekend games. And then in workout schedule 3, sometimes you don't have games on Sunday, so that's an off day. And then you have 3 workouts and another workout on Friday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So any of these work. Again, bottom line here is, are you going to be putting it into your schedule, and are you going to be consistent? Okay. And so I want to talk about this base movement assessment that I talked about earlier. And so what this is a unique 24 test movement assessment covering flexibility, strength, agility, speed, and endurance. Okay. The idea here is that we will assess to see how well your body moves and functions for the playing of the sport that you're involved with. Okay, so any athlete can actually participate between the ages of 8 and 18. Any sport, I should say. And so if you're softball, awesome. Basketball, awesome. Football, awesome. Lacrosse, awesome. Soccer, awesome. Any of those sports and more. If you're basically in sports, you can take this assessment, okay? I'll be doing base camps periodically, so you can check the website, goality.com/base, to see any of the events coming up so that you can sign up for it. But this base assessment is really going to be the foundation for your progress in getting to be a more athletic, more powerful, more fast player in your sport. Okay, so and I have to also add that the other thing is that you're doing this also to help prevent injuries. See, if there's one thing about injuries, especially for youth athletes, if you're wondering, it is that we don't put our bodies in a good position to stay healthy sometimes, and we overexert ourselves. And when we overexert ourselves and go beyond what our body's capable of, injuries occur. And so this is kind of a good foundation to help you prevent those injuries down the road, if any injuries do happen. Okay. All right. So basically your next step is to take what you know from this training guide, apply it to your training workouts, and make sure that you take a base movement assessment, attend a base camp. You can always email me, let me know if you have any questions about what it's all about. But basically, your next step is to take the complete base assessment. And again, you can go to the website, www.goality.com/base, to see what it's all about, plus when upcoming base camps are coming up. Okay, and so that is the whole guide. And let me just go back and talk about something, which is what I would measure. Okay, how I would measure actually the squat test. Okay, so I want to come back to this real quick here. So the best way to do this is to have someone observe how you're doing this, okay? And just to see, make sure that your hands are behind your knees, your hips go past parallel, and your heels stay down, all these points right here. And just to make sure that you get someone to do it for you so that you don't incorrectly test and measure yourself. All right, so this is one of the tests, or how I would go ahead and measure it to create the baseline. And then in about 3 to 4 weeks, I would say I would try and do it again to see if your efforts in the training exercises and the stretches have helped you, so that you can do this better than the first time. Okay, so if you scored a 2, hopefully you score a 3. If you scored a 1, hopefully you scored a 2 next time. And if you score a 3, hopefully you keep a 3, right? Okay, and so that's what I would do on how to measure it. And then the other point is, how do you chart your progress? The biggest thing I would tell people a lot is to journal. Okay, and journaling may sound boring or whatnot, but it's actually super valuable, right? Create a journal so that you can chart from day 1 to day 30 what you've been up to. In the exercises, if you have been using weights to do the squat exercise, for example, okay, let's see here, the calf muscle stretch, or the calf muscle strengthening exercise, the hamstring strengthening exercise, any of these exercises, if you've been using weights, it would be good to see what weights you've been using on a daily basis. Okay, and so charting weights. If you've been doing so many reps, how many reps have you been doing? That's another great a measurement to journal, right? How many reps, and then how many sets, and then the amount of time you've been working out. Okay, so if it's a 10-minute workout, make sure you write that down. If it's a 20-minute workout, make sure you write that down. And what's going to happen is that when you look back, when you look back over 30 days, you can kind of see how much time you put in, how many reps you've done, how much weight you've used, and so forth. And it feels good, I think, for a lot of people, especially early on, to see that you've been putting the effort and making the changes. And therefore, hopefully those changes means that the squat test is getting better, or staying the same, or you're noticing things, that you are a more mobile, more flexible, more capable softball player. Okay, and so that's really how you could assess your progress. And so keeping in mind that journaling is very important is really my main point. Okay, all right, so that's really all I wanted to cover in this video. I know that many of you guys can benefit from this, and one little thing that I am working on, so that you may want to check out, is another training guide for hitting. And so the title I'm thinking of is Softball Hitting Pop, something to that effect. But anyhow, something about hitting, okay? And so look out for that softball training guide for hitting. And if you guys like this video, remember to destroy the like button, subscribe button, and notification button, so you can get future videos just like this. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.